64 kg Thai bout. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, weighing in at 64 kgs, fighting out of Sunan Thai, presenting Scott Collins. As opposed to making his way to the ring, fighting out of the red corner, this man also weighed in under 64 kgs, fighting out of Dublin, Thai, presenting Conor Coyle.
Moving along to a 64 kg Thai bout here at the Takeover. We've got Scott Collins out of Sunan Thai, who is in the black and white trunks, and he's taking on Dublin Thai's own Conor Coyle, who is in the white trunks. 3 2-minute rounds. We're underway.
Great kick.
Yeah, knocked him off balance. Scott Collins looks the longer guy, so Coyle just seems to be just inside the range where he's getting caught by the longer shots coming in.
And it's tough. If the taller fighter has to be aware of them kicks, he can smother his own kicks when he's in there. And sometimes to change your style, you might kick up at a slight angle as opposed to turning the hip over for the taller.
Landed a nice leg kick low there to Collins and then pushed forward with the hands, but almost ran through his own shots.
Yeah.
Ran past his opponent, almost put his head down and just charged forward. But you can see Conor Coyle looks to be a lot calmer in the center of the ring.
Yeah. Again, he's using that reach. He should do a little bit more of that. The taller footer should always be using that lead jab, teeth to the leg, teeth to the body.
There's that bull rush again, Mark. He just seems to lean and charge forward. Now, I'm going to be interested to see as this fight goes on, because Collins looks to be using a lot of energy, and almost looks like he's breathing heavy here already, Mark. Well, Conor Coyle looks like he's just popped down to the shops for a pint of milk and a paper here. He looks very calm.
I think the first thing in every fight, if it's K1 or even tight, the first one to establish their breathing is usually the precursor to them finding their own comfortable style. That's the first thing. Control your breath, control your energy, and build it one bit at a time.
Nice right hand in there by Collins, but he certainly is. He's throwing everything into these early shots in his first round. All well and good when it ends in the first round, but as the fight goes on, that's where you're going to meet your enemy, and that's called fatigue. But you can see him as he's getting up to his corner. He looks to be blowing a little heavy, Mark.
Yeah, he's going in at a high work rate, like it's what to do, and they feel the need just to do something.
Then on the other side, we've Conor Coyle who looks very calm, but at the same time, you can be calm and not do anything. There's no point, you know, you have to work as well.
You do see this. You see it in white collar matches where you'll see a guy with a 6-pack and 8-pack, and he gets tired from being beaten. Yeah. And he just hasn't established his rhythm or his breathing within the fight. But again, very difficult in 2 minutes. It's so explosive. Unless you have, whether it's clinch, kicking or punch, unless you have an explosive weapon or weapons, it's very hard to actually affect the other person. That changes their style.
You can see now maybe a little bit of slowdown just as I say that. He comes into a kicking combination, but a nice teep.
Yeah, again, it's difficult within 2 minutes to decide when you're going to press and pull back. I don't know if it's by design in a lot of the amateur matches, but the benefit of that is they're learning how to be aggressive intuitively. They're learning how to use the energy in the moment. It's a hard lesson, and they're going to feel at the end of every round and have time to reflect maybe after the 3 rounds and tomorrow whether they win or lose. I think both fighters showing signs of fatigue when they're standing toe-to-toe like that and not throwing anything. Again, the heart is there.
Concern of a head clash here, just as Collins is putting his head down as he comes in. Will we see Conor Coyle now start to step on the accelerator, because we certainly look to have a lot tighter. Nice catch and sweep though, Scott Collins, nice work.
That's definitely added some confidence. Oh.
teeth to the body, push back. Collins, as much as I'm saying he's putting a lot in here, he is still coming forward, Mark.
There's a lot to be said for that. As a coach, you need to see that in the fighter, but also as a coach, it also means your fighter's going to eat shots, and you don't want too many of them matches either. So, in the
what a main event. But we currently are looking at Conor Coyle taking on Scott Collins. We're in the third and final round. Collins again, he's like a Duracell bunny here.
Yeah.
He just recharges in between rounds. And
great kick. An attempted sweep, but he should have followed up from that. I would have liked to see him just chase him down. We haven't seen it tonight, but in Thai you can actually kick someone. If it's all a part of one move, you can hit them as they fall, but not when they're on the ground.
Nice body shot. Coyle starting to land some good shots. Starting to hurt the body, and he's got Collins gone in backwards mode for the first time in the fight, really. Big deep breath by Collins as he steps out.
Collins needs to go from them kicks into clinch, not stand there and shell up like a boxing match or a K1 match.
The war of attrition right now looks to now be siding with Conor Coyle. He has enough time to apologise to a referee for an unintentional knee, but firing back. Sorry, Mark.
We talked about this earlier on with the knees, but now in fairness, that knee was quite high, but the referee deemed that it wasn't on purpose and allowed it to go on.
Coyle seems more fundamentally sound, Mark, doesn't he? In the combinations he's thrown, he looks more technical. Not a lot on his shots there.
Yeah.
Probably 60-70% if even on some of them.
And if he had to start it off that way, maybe at the start, that could have been consistent. That could have been a consistent team all throughout.
There's going to be a count here, I think. Yeah. There's 30 seconds left, but this will feel like 30 minutes here for Scott Collins. It's something I alluded to at the start of the fight that I was interested to see when it gets to the final seconds and minutes of this one. And
that could have made a big difference on the scorecards.
Final 10 seconds. Can Coyle get him out? Big rending of the body now of Scott Collins. But yeah, he's going to do a big jump and kick across the ring. Going to our judges' scorecards, but it was that war of attrition. Ultimately, it had huge output by Scott Collins starting the fight. And Conor Coyle just stayed in his lane, composed, fundamentally sound.
Yeah.
Isn't enough to get him the nod, though, Mark.
Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for both fighters. Of the 3 rounds of action, we go to your judges' scorecards. All 3 judges have scored this for your winner by unanimous decision. Fighting out